Clinton both reacted. Trump said people want borders and called the vote the will of the people. Clinton said America needs to make sure the economic uncertainty there does not hurt working families here. Ed.
News at 5's Mary Selena joins us now live. She's in the financial district right now. And Mary, you've been talking to experts all day. Why did Wall Street react the way it did today?
Yeah, well, Ed, Wall Street did not see this coming. In fact, you remember Wall Street was up significantly yesterday. Investors went to bed, woke up, and as word of this vote spread, so did chaos throughout the markets. All you need to know is that the markets hate uncertainty, and this was a shocker.
The two central components of the plan are first,
a long time to play out. They have as much as 2 years to 3 years to figure out what leaving the European Union actually means. And so there's likely to be a lot of volatility along the way, so don't overreact in the moment.
Yeah, so it'll take a while for the dust to settle. And don't forget, we have a lot of uncertainty of our own here at home. We have a very close presidential election to play out, and the closer and more unpredictable it gets as we get closer to election day, stocks will react badly. They just hate not to know what's going to happen.
Well, there's no indicator right now how long that uncertainty will last, right, Mayor?
Yeah, well, months, probably years. I mean, it's going to be a shaky road, and what they tell you is, I'm sure you'll hear from other financial experts, is if you're in for the long haul, just stay put and buckle your seatbelt. We're in for some turbulence.
News at 5's Mary Selena, who's live in the financial district for us tonight. Thanks.
So as Mary just said, the vote is having a huge financial impact around the world. But should you be worried about your money? I'm joined now by our financial advisor, Barry Armstrong. Okay, we're always worried about our money, but these are different circumstances. We've never seen this before.
Well, we haven't seen anything like this outside the U.S. impacting our markets. So, I mean, we've seen market corrections, 2008, 2002, 1987 for us older folks. Volatility is part of investing in the markets. What's unusual about this is it caught us all by surprise.
Right.
That was the shocker.
So how does this impact us personally here?
Well, I think you're going to see interest rates are going to be lower. The value of the U.S. dollar is higher. So the good part about that is oil prices will remain low. The problem, though, is if you work in manufacturing, and let's say you manufacture widgets that are sold overseas, you're now competing on an unfair plane because the value of the dollar is too strong. So it makes it hard for U.S. manufacturers of anything.
Interest rates lower right away, immediately?
2 weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah. What happens is the banks usually want to see if the 10-year Treasury rate remains depressed. It hit about 145 last night during the middle of the night. It settled today around 1.56%. That's what mortgages are tied to.
Sure.
So if the 10-year Treasury, and you can watch this on your own, if you see the 10-year Treasury stay in that 1.5 range, that means mortgage rates might come down another 1/8 of a point.
We ask the same question every single time. It's what people care about. It's their 401ks. What does this mean?
Oh, well, this is...
We don't like to see the eye roll either, Barry, let me tell you.
Well, I mean, if you're in a moderate portfolio, you 60% stocks, 40% bonds, you probably lost 2, maybe 3% today. If you're in an aggressive portfolio, if you're all stocks and you had a lot of international exposure, you may have lost 5 to 10% in your portfolio today. That's a lot.
And what you always say is, stay the course.
Stay the course. Take a look at your portfolio. This is a great time to review your investments to make sure you're diversified. Make sure that you're not overweighted in financial stocks or overweighted in European stocks. Make sure you're well diversified.
Barry Armstrong, thank you very much. Appreciate it, Barry.
A nurses strike looming tonight at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Negotiations are still underway, but the nurses plan to walk out on the job this coming Monday, and patients are already being diverted. At issue, pay and benefits. Brigham administrators say that they have a contingency plan in place if the strike happens.
the two central components of the plan are first, to reduce our capacity to 60% of what is our normal operating capacity, and second, to bring in 700 highly skilled nurses from the outside.
The hospital emphasizes that if there is a strike, the ER will remain open 24/7 and no one will be turned away. But if a patient needs to be admitted, he or she might need to be transferred to another hospital.
At least 20 people are dead after severe flooding in West Virginia. This drone video right here is showing all those neighborhoods underwater. More than 100 homes destroyed there. Thousands, of course, without power. State of emergency has been declared in several counties that have been devastated by the storms. Wildfires in Central California now claiming the lives of 2 people. The wind-whipped fire has grown to more than 29 square miles, destroying at least 80 homes there. Flames erupted yesterday afternoon, giving people little time to flee as propane tanks exploded and smoke filled the air.
Tomorrow marks 1 year since the body of Bella Bond washed ashore on Deer Island. A memorial now marks the spot where Bella's body was found. For months, she became known as Baby Doe as investigators worked to identify her. They eventually charged her mother's boyfriend in her death. State police say that Baby Bella's case has touched them deeply. Police ask people to pause for a moment tomorrow to think about the loss of an innocent child.
Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton is taking steps to try to reduce gun violence. Today, Congressman Moulton, along with a bipartisan group of House members, they introduced a bill that would deny gun sales to those on that no-fly list. Moulton says in the wake of the Orlando massacre, Congress needs to take action to make our communities safe.
This simple concept that if you're too dangerous to fly, and we've already said we will not allow you on an airplane, that you shouldn't also be able to buy a gun. Simple reforms like this are demanded by the American people.
Moulton says a total of about 3,000 Americans on the list would be affected by the bill. Lawmakers hope both Democrats and Republicans will come together and support this new bill. Helping people with spinal cord injuries walk again.
The special chairs and technology that's changing lives. That's in tonight's Cutting Edge.
In the return of muggy weather and thunderstorms, I'll show you if either will have any impact on your weekend plans.
Whitey Bulger's possessions, they're up for auction, including that rat mug, and what's getting the most interest, and how the sale will benefit families of the mobster's victims.
You're watching WCVB News Center 5 at 7.
Sky 5 over Quincy Center. Big changes are happening right now. The traffic pattern around Quincy's Church of Presidents, that's going to be altered permanently tonight, starting at 9 p.m. to make room for a new public park. The portion of Hancock Street between the church and City Hall Plaza, that's going to be closed permanently to traffic. The detours will end early Saturday morning.
In the United States, over 250,000 people are paralyzed, and worldwide that number is well in the millions. In tonight's Cutting Edge, Mike Wancombe takes us to a local company that is helping people walk again.
Ashley Barnes has been in a wheelchair for 2 years now after a routine spinal procedure went horribly wrong.
I ended up a paraplegic, and so from the moment of getting in the chair, I just said, I have to keep going. There's nothing that's going to stop me.
And nothing has. With determination the size of her native Texas and help from Rewalk Robotics of Marlboro, she can now stand and walk.
It's amazingly different from being in a wheelchair. Obviously, being a paraplegic, we spend most of our time in a wheelchair, so we don't get to stand up.
There are options to wheelchairs. You don't have to live your life in a wheelchair.
Larry Jasinski is Rewalk's CEO.
But this is pretty amazing what's inside here.
There's a lot in there. It's a very complex system, but it's a very complex problem.
Each unit costs $77,000 and has enough battery power to walk for 4 hours straight. The units have FDA approval, and insurance companies like the idea that a paraplegic can move around and therefore improve their health.
If you're up and you're moving, your body is moving and things are working, and they don't normally.
This is the latest upgrade, called version 6. Ashley presses a button on her wrist to control it.
So this is cueing it to walk here.
And uses crutches to help her balance. To stop, watch carefully, she purposely stubs her toe. Rewalk says this same technology could soon be reconfigured to help other people not only with spinal cord injuries, but other disabilities.
It will be used for someone who's had a stroke, someone who's got multiple sclerosis, someone with cerebral palsy or Parkinson's perhaps, or even for the elderly, someone who needs an assistive device.
Ashley will tell you it can really change how a person feels and lives.
To be able to be standing upright, looking at you, having a conversation eye to eye is just, it's amazing because you can't get that in any other way.
And just to be clear, she has no feeling from the waist down, right?
Correct, absolutely. And she's probably one of the most delightful, charming, positive people you would ever want to meet.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, too, there are 7 veterans who are actually working with the ReWalk system right now, and the VA is very interested in that because they have so many thousands who are suffering from spinal injuries.
Wow, that was really remarkable to see.
It is to see the robotics that are really coming out of this area and that are helping people in that way.
It's wonderful.
Excellent.
I have to tell you about our weather. It's gorgeous this weekend. We've got sunshine coming in. It looks fantastic.
All
Let me
right,
show you
now
what's
back
happening
to
on the
us. 'Cause
satellite.
he's all done because the weather is too good.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, look at the clear skies that we have. It's hard to find even a cloud around here. And if you want to find some clouds, you've got to go down to the south. Remember we were talking about all those thunderstorms in West Virginia, the heavy rains that are going on down there, the really nasty weather. It's all down here where the heat and humidity is. But we have this cool, refreshing air over the top of us. High temperatures today. If you're right near the water, a little bit cooler, into the 70s. But inland, we had temperatures into the 80s today. We're going to see that same thing tomorrow, although I think the 80s may get a little bit closer to the city than what they were for this afternoon. Look at the night sky out there. We've just got a gorgeous evening going. One of the latest sunsets of the year as well. Right now, it's 69 degrees in Boston because of an east-southeasterly wind. Still off the water, keeping us on the cool side. And look at that dew point, down to a very comfortable 54 degrees. We've got the comfortable humidity here. But remember I said, down where those thunderstorms are, look at the dew point, 60s and 70s. This is muggy, oppressive stuff. Eventually, this is going to try to lift its way northward, but that's not going to happen until late on Sunday into Monday. So you've really got a decent weekend. In fact, probably one of the best weekends you could imagine coming this weekend. But Monday, it gets humid, and by Tuesday, we may have some thunderstorms in the forecast. Tonight, clear and comfortable, sleep with the windows open. And tomorrow morning, you'll wake up, temperatures will be in the upper 40s to the upper 50s with a southeasterly breeze at about 5 to 10. Tomorrow, like today, sunshine, 82 to 86 inland, but sea breeze at the coast will keep temperatures down into the 70s. Again, easterly breeze at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So high temperatures tomorrow will look like this. You're out of Rockport, it's about 74 degrees. You're at Burlington, it's 82 degrees. You get into Worcester County, most of the temperatures will be nicely to the mid-80s. Uxbridge, 85 for a high temperature tomorrow. South Shore, you're inland, you'll see mid-80s, but if you're right near the shoreline, 70s. Duxbury, only about 75 for a high. And if you're headed down towards the Cape, look for readings tomorrow, generally into the mid-70s with sunshine and a light breeze coming in as we head through the afternoon. So high pressures in control most of the weekend. Then we watch late into the weekend, we start to see this humid weather lifting up. But this isn't happening until late on Sunday before it really gets the muggy air in here. And behind it, there is a cold front, which may trigger off a round of showers or thunderstorms. Also, you'll notice the dew point is going to be coming up as we start to talk about Monday and Tuesday. So here's the way it looks over the next 7 days. 2 gorgeous days coming your way. Heat and humidity coming back on Monday. Thunderstorms on Tuesday. They may linger a little bit into Wednesday. And then behind it, we're starting to talk about some cooler, drier weather moving back in. But right now, with sunshine and low humidity and late June forecasted sunshine, it looks like a great weekend coming in our direction. That is my latest forecast for right now. I'm meteorologist Mike Wonkum.
Now, Sports Center 5, 1 minute drill.
It's a pretty good bet that many of the fans who booed the Celtics draft pick of Jaylen Brown last night have said at one time or another, the media are a bunch of homers and toadies and dopes. Oh my. And yet, you based your negative reaction on information you got from the media. This time, you exalted those dopes to trusted geniuses, because there's no way I believe you have ever seen Jaylen Brown play. Instead, you watched draft reports, read mock drafts, learned who's got long wingspans, high upsides, and quick first steps. You saw some highlights, surfed the wave of prognostication and consensus, and determined Brown was a top 6 pick, but you'd be crazy to take him at number 3. Yeah, like you have any clue. Forgive me if I choose to sit this one out. Predicting how a player will develop and adapt to the pro game is not predictable in most cases. And while Danny Ainge's batting average, making picks, is about what his career batting average was for the Toronto Blue Jays, 220, I think I'll go with the guy who played in the league, coached in the league, and is now a president in the league before I go with fans who base their opinions on the opinions of dopes in the media. Present company accepted.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
That's very good. Wow.
It's getting hot in here.
I'm going to wait 3 years and then boo the pick if it doesn't work out.
But that's what we do. I mean, but
we do it when we know what we're talking about.
No, we do it from our guts, from passion. It's our instinct.
Okay, but in this case, they got their guts and passion from the media. So I guess we're very smart.
I wish it was a 2-minute drill. That's all I have to say. Items that once belonged to notorious mobster James Whitey Bulger hitting the auction block.
How you can get a piece for yourself. It benefits the victims this weekend.
Tonight, we have an early look at some of James Whitey Bulger's items that are going up for auction.
Proceeds will go to the families of his victims. Some of the contents of that Santa Monica apartment Bulger lived in with his girlfriend, Catherine Gregg. Bulger signed away his ownership to this shortly after the trial, a book about the Holocaust, offering insight into the killer. In the margins, Bulger wrote that it was sad and that, quote, power is deadly.
It makes you think that he had a conscience in looking at it that way, and yet look at all the pain and suffering that he has caused.
A lot of items drawing attention in early bidding. That rat cup that we were talking to you about, now up to $2,500.
Massachusetts is one of the most child-friendly states in the Union. The Bay State takes second in the Anne E. Casey Foundation's list of best states to raise a family, just behind Minnesota at number 1. New Hampshire comes in at number 4. The foundation factored economic and health concerns, education, and the quality of communities into making their final decision for the numbers. A sure sign of summer in Boston. The Spray Park and Wading Pool at the Frog Pond now open. The fun began today. It'll be open for those looking for a spot to cool off now through Labor Day. 11 in the morning, 6 in the evening. Those are the hours. The nearby Boston Common Carousel is also in full swing as well as the rides in the Swan Boat. You got one-stop shopping and go there, bang,
Look at
everything
that.
is fine.
And summer is here.
Yeah.
A young man helps bring new life to something very old. That's up next in 5 for Good.
New at 11 o'clock tonight on News Center 5, the first of the summer, the season for the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, where researchers tagged their first white shark of 2016. And in 5 for Good tonight, a 17-year-old with an appreciation for good old-fashioned hard work.
When James Furness learned the town of Norwell was going to be scrapping a century-old sleigh, he decided, I want to save it. The Abington teenager spent the last 6 months restoring it, and look at that right there. Nice job. These are the pictures from our partners at the Patriot Ledger. We appreciate you sharing those with us, showing us how great this looks. The sleigh will now be on display at a school, South Shore Votech, before it eventually goes back to Norwell. Nice job.
Yeah, you can appreciate that, Walker.
I do.
The runners look fabulous.
Yeah, some great work there, it looked like.